where your body turns against itself and it fights itself, so you're in a war with yourself. And it causes your brain to get infected, and it messes with your memory, your behavior. It's also known as the demonic disease. So my family wanted to call a priest and do an exorcism, so that's how bad it was for me. When I was sick in the hospital, I couldn't remember a lot of things, so most of my memories are from where my friends and family told me the things that I said and did. My sickness started at the end of March last year, and it just started with, I was sick. I felt like I had a common cold, and then it started messing with my eye, and I couldn't see out of my right eye very well, and then I would see tracers, or I don't know, tunnel vision, and then I started losing my memory and losing track of time. I'm trying to think. I started like feeling like everybody was out to get me. I was very paranoid. I thought my family was trying to kill me. I don't know. It just was the opposite of what I truly am. Me and Scott have 5 kids, and I've always been very dedicated mom, hard worker, nonstop. And when I started getting sick, I just kind of slowed down and mumbled. I never really talked out loud, and I'm quite a loud person, so it was like really weird. When I went to the doctor on and off trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and here in Zanesville at the hospital, they diagnosed me with cat scratch fever, and we don't have a cat, so I don't know how they got that. They put me on medicine for that, and then me and Scott and 2 of our friends decided we wanted to go get a dog, and on the way there, I went crazy, and we stopped at a gas station, and I called the police and said they kidnapped me. And I truly believed it. And the chief of police was there, and Scott, of course, had to convince him that he didn't, kidnap me, that we lived together for 20 years, so. After that, they took me straight up to OSU, and I was there for, I'd say, 2 or 3 weeks, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I'd had a bunch of tests, like tests I've never even heard of. They started treating me with a steroid, and sent me home, and then I went crazy when I got home because I thought they'd kidnap me again. So they took me back up there and finally figured out after the 3rd spinal tap that it was this disease. I'm actually the oldest person to have ever gotten this disease. Most people, are children, or in their early 20s. So it was hard for me to bounce back from my sickness, just because when you're older, your body's not as strong as when you're younger. I was in OSU for a long time, and I went through many different treatments. There's a lot of different treatments for it, and because it's so rare, they don't really have one certain treatment to treat it, because none of the medicine's FDA approved because it's so rare. They did decide to put me on try a chemo on me, and my body rejected that, so I couldn't do that no longer. I had been on steroids for, I think, 9 months, and it made me gain like 90 pounds. So the depression was probably the worst thing, and feeling like I was all alone. The worst part, I think, about having the disease was the fact that I was me inside, but everything that I said, everything that I did, it was like somebody else took over my body. So what I wanted to say never came out. It was always some other person that was talking and going crazy. And so I guess it was, I don't know, it was scary, because I was like screaming inside and trapped inside my own body, and I couldn't figure out how to express myself because I wasn't myself any longer. I was out of control. The lady who was diagnosed at first in 2007 has a similar story. And her book's called Brain on Fire, because actually that's kind of like how a neurologist explains it, because your brain is infection and it's just on fire. I had headaches like, they're hard to describe. They're like migraines times 107. They're insane. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I'm still taking a lot of medicine because there is no cure, and because I couldn't take the chemo, I'm going to be on medicine until then. The president of the company that's Eric's been talking to, her foundation is actually trying to find a humanized chemo that's made from, I don't know, like the umbilical cords and different things like that, and trying to find something. And they think maybe that'll be the cure for me because my body rejects medicine. The medicine that they have me take every day now, I'm allergic to it, so I have to take it and then take a couple other medicines to make my body accept it enough so that I can stay alive. So I don't know what else to say. My story's really long because I was actually without a memory for I think 2 months, maybe a little longer. I'm sure my family could tell you some stories of some stuff that I did that was pretty off the wall. But, yeah, it was nice, and thank you. I would say the best thing that made me come back to even close to being the old Kathy is my family. When I was sick, when I would go to sleep, and when I woke up, I couldn't remember anything. So it was like 51st dates where you have to start all over every day, and it's true. And they had a note board that they wrote on the wall to tell me, my name and Scott and my kids' names, and they had pictures of my kids and Scott, and to tell me what the date was. I didn't know the date. I didn't know anything. So it was definitely an experience. I'm blessed that I don't remember a lot of things that I did, and they still haven't told me a lot of stuff that I've done, so I guess I really don't want to know. If I was meant to remember, I would remember. So some of the stories that they did tell me, I wish I didn't know, so I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to still be alive and have friends and family, and I guess I'm just going to keep on being a warrior until they find something so I can stop taking all this medicine. That's it. Thank you.